I am one of the hardcore casual fans when it comes to boxing. And I just look at things in a different perspective. It's not always about the X and O's. It always isn't about fandom. It always isn't about, you know what I'm saying, the PBC or the sanctioning bodies for me. I like to watch good fights and I like good fights to be put on with good names. Who's gonna come out to be the winner or loser? Sometimes I really couldn't give a shit. I have no fandom when it comes to any of this. But what I would say is this is kind of one of those fights where you see Crawford and Canelo. It's like those fantasy fights people talk about, the what if, and if these people grew up in the same era, if these people ever met up in the same weight division, this opportunity is here. So Canelo has been around over the test of time to the era where he kind of piggybacked off of Mayweather. He might have lost to Mayweather, but he was on a lot of his undercards. When Mayweather took a step from the game, he was really putting hands and feet on people where he was knocking shit out and he became a household name and a worldwide name where he became one of, Mexico's basically superheroes. His average numbers 500, 600, 700, whatever you might be upset about, but that's his numbers. So then you have Crawford. So Crawford, they say, oh, he might not have fought the most craziest competition, but at the end of the day, he's a two-weight division undisputed champion. And that's just something, a conversation you can't take away. Whether it be 1 year or 5 years or 6 years or whatever it took for him to obtain that, right? So now every boxer is not going to be given the biggest stage to present himself to be the guy, right? So Crawford kind of went through one of those phases where, I don't know what he was a black guy on ESPN and they ain't really buying to him. He wasn't, I know his promoter said I could have sold a house in Malibu for the amount, whatever the case it might be. But the talent is there, right? He got his opportunity to go against Errol Spence. Regardless if it was weight drain, regardless if it was injuries, if he was high, if he was on ketamine, whatever, car crashes, it was a different level of talent that separated themselves that night. We've never seen Errol hands put on him in that manner. We've never seen Errol look like that. So now he takes that momentum. He goes up against a guy at what's that? 154. He captures a belt. It doesn't look too good on everybody's behalf, whatever the case is. But he won the fight. All right. So now he's like, all right, you know what? I want to challenge myself because I'm slated to be as one of those guys. I want to go against the big guy, the marquee guy of the sport in totality. Why would we be mad about seeing this fight? If he's challenging himself and he actually believes in it, if you see him in the interviews, he sat down, he's real calm and he looks confident and he doesn't look befuddled that, he's getting this opportunity. Charlo got this opportunity, but he was real like not himself. It wasn't no barking, it wasn't no screaming, it was real respectful. Crawford not being disrespectful, but he's really confident in the space, and I'm really enjoying it. And I want to see this fight. So now, Crawford said it would be amazing if I was able to get Tank on this undercard. And people lost their mind. Tank would never be on the undercard of this guy. Woo, woo, woo. I get it. Tank is a main card fighter. He is the show. Whether you want to say he's a face of the sport or he's one of the faces, he's not the face of the sport based on numbers alone. Men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. Canelo's numbers against my local Amazon guy would still be 300 to 400,000. And that is the peak for Tank without Ryan Garcia. Let's keep it real. Let's call it ace and a spade a spade. But what fans don't realize is the greatness of the sport is what's more important in this state. So wrestling and the UFC have a moniker the way they handle their business, where you get the best fights for a pay-per-view card, right? And let's just say Tank is the undercard to the main or the co-main. Let's just say co-main. You put a fight bonus on there. Who has the most entertaining fight? Now it's an extra purpose. You got the turkey guy coming about. If he got the money to put it on, who are we as fans to say, I don't want to enjoy 4 straight hours of boxing like I would enjoy the whole WrestleMania or the whole Royal Rumble, where there's no low in the action. And sometimes we watch the sport and we say, you know what? The undercard was better than the main card, or this fight was better than the main card. It happens all the time. But the key is, are you really getting what you want out of the sport itself? That's the major key. And we got to remember, y'all, to grow the sport has to be great. The sport has not been great for a long time. And it's consumers to be paying 30, 40, 50, 60 to $90, $100 for a card. And it's not entertaining from front to back. What are they selling us? And what are we accepting as fans? That's the problem. So let's get our pennies out the bunch. Let's open our mind to certain conversations of growing the sport and being entertained, because our dollars should count first and foremost. But one more I got for y'all, man. That's just, I'll digress with that, man. Don't be a sheep. Be a man, not a sheep.